Hi there, Sandy Reese with stampacrew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome back. I have another great project using a new suite from the mini catalog. So let me flip you down and we'll get started. All right, so we're going to feature the Velvet Meadow suite. Now, when I first saw this, it just really jumped out to me. It was one of my top picks out of the catalog, and I think it was just the colors, because I love pink. I love all the shades of pink in here, and the texture on this paper is just like something we haven't had before. So it's got lots of touches of velvet on the designer paper, and then it also has some coordinating velvet paper, which is pink, the pink, green, and white. Then we have these fun little dreamy flowers in 3 different colors. So it just spoke to me. So I've got several projects over the month that I'm going to show you using this suite. All right, so this is the bundle. We're going to use just a sentiment out of the stamp set, and then we're going to use a couple of the dies to die cut some flowers and leaves. And then we're going to use a piece of the designer paper that I really love. So let's bring in our supplies. And I'm using Peaceful Pine. I love this color. I've used this color so much. Then we have 2 pieces of white. These are 4 by 5 1/4, and I cut 2, one for the inside and one for the front for a mat. But I've cut out my little banner from the Stylish Shape dies out of there, so I don't have to use something extra. That's going to go on the front. And then we have this really pretty flocked velvety designer paper. You can see in the background it has some leaves, and then it has these white flowers and leaves on top. The back is just a kind of a neutral print, but this is going to glue right to the middle of that. And then I took a piece of the Peaceful Pine velvet paper, and this is cut at 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And I've cut out one of our Everyday Arches dies out of there. This is our frame, so we're going to pop that up. Then out of this one, I die cut 2 of the leaves, a stem, and 2 flower centers. And then I took a little piece of the white velvet and cut out 2 of the little white flowers. Now, I'm not going to throw this away. I'm going to save it because I could do die cut a smaller arch to go on top of this and just use, I was careful to keep all of my pieces centered in the middle so I could use this as another layer if I wanted. So we'll put that in the scrap bin for now. Okay, so we have our banner. Oh, I have 2. I have an extra. We'll put that in with our other thing in our scrap box. Okay, and then I cut a little white bow, or I cut and tied a little white bow with our white baker's twine. So let's stamp our sentiment, and then we'll do some assembling. All right, our sentiment just says so many reasons to celebrate. And I'm using this. I'm going to stamp over to the right a bit. Make sure I get that inked up well. And then this way I can use it. I'm not going to stamp the inside yet, because this could be for a lot of different occasions. This could be for birthday, graduation, job promotion. In fact, I really need to send, my son-in-law has a new job. I'm not going to send him this one, but usually when the kids get a new job, I like to send a card, and I'll send them a little gift card so they can maybe to the coffee shop or somewhere close that they can use. The boys don't all drink coffee. I usually send them, maybe they like Sonic drinks or a restaurant, Jimmy John's, I don't know. I'll send them a gift card. A little congratulations. Okay, I'll just glue this one down right to the center. I've cut it smaller so it'll fit inside the, is that right side up? Yes, my stems are going the correct way. Got to make sure we get that covered. I have a little bit of this left over. Okay, that one's done. And then we'll pop this up so it's pretty sturdy all the way around. We'll do one more right there just to be safe. Okay. Okay. We're going to pop this up. We want the white to show on the edges. Okay, I think that's pretty good. We are going to pop this up as well. Well, I can't get that off. And I'm going to have this coming over the edge just a bit. Okay, let's do just a little assembly. I'm going to put a dot of glue, and hopefully that will hold on our little flower centers. I think that goes upside down. I think the smaller piece goes on top. That looks better. But you know, you can do, you. Probably a glue dot would work too. These are very small. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this stem and just put a little glue in the middle of that stem and glue it to our banner. And then we're going to glue our flowers to our stem. We'll do 1, 2. Okay. And I'm going to add this. I'm just trying to keep my adhesive on my banner and not going off somewhere else. Whoops, I have lost that. We're going to put that on in a minute. Might add this right down there a little bit further. Okay. There we go. You know what? Let's get a glue dot to this flower. I feel like I'm asking a lot of it to stick to that little stem. I'm just going to put it right on top of those, on top of those leaves. Cute. Okay, we need one more glue dot. I'm going to roll this one up a little bit and put that on my bow. And adhere that to just to our leaves down here, our little stems. That bow is twisted. Okay. Trim that off a bit. Well, hello. Okay. And I'm going to grab white flowers. I put all the other flowers in other projects, so we're going to go with the white for this one. If I can get it out, we'll do a large. And we can kind of put these wherever we want. I'm going to put them right there. So we kind of have our focal point right in this area. And that's it. Isn't that pretty? And if you can feel it, it's just very soft, very feminine. It's not really shiny because it's velvet. It just has that different texture, but it's really a great card to feel and touch. And we want, you know, we want our cards to be appreciated. And when it's like this and it's got something that the recipient can kind of feel and it's just really nice. So I hope you enjoyed today's project. Remember, when you spend $50 with me online, you're going to get a kit of That Month's card class projects for free. And make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. And we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.